My name is Dr. Michael Larniaga. I'm a consultant on the Sand Dollar apartment fire that occurred in 2017. My educational background is that I have a bachelor's in fire protection and safety engineering technology. I have a master's degree in industrial hygiene and occupational health, and I have a doctorate degree in industrial engineering. I formerly was professor and department head of the School of Fire Protection at Oklahoma State University, where I taught fire behavior, fire dynamics, and even fire investigation. I currently serve on the Scientific and Technical Advisory Council of the 9/11 World Trade Center Health Program and on the National Advisory Committee for Occupational Safety and Health within the Department of Labor. Regarding this particular case, I was asked to answer a few questions on video. Well, this fire almost certainly reached 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, we don't know exactly what started the fire, but we do know that the storage of combustible materials allowed the fire to grow at a much faster rate than it would have otherwise, preventing the escape of the victims from their apartments. These smoke detectors had a useful life of 10 years. Well, in general, two things can happen. You get a slower response. It takes the detector longer to activate in a fire, or you get no response at all, which, looking at the evidence in this case, neither of these detectors operated in apartment S. These detectors are almost certainly 18 or more years old. The manufacturers began putting dates on detectors in the year 2000. This detector has no date on the label. There would have no doubt been sufficient smoke within the apartment S to initiate a properly working fire alarm. In addition, this particular smoke alarm was an ionization type, which is better at detecting small particles of smoke, which you would get from infiltration of smoke from outdoors to in. And you might ask, well, how does that happen? Well, fires create their own pressure. And in these buildings, they have imperfections in the building envelope. They have exhaust for the stove exhaust. They have exhaust if they have a washer or dryer or a water heater, gas water heater. Anyway, there's imperfections in every building, and fire and smoke can get in through these imperfections, and because it generates its own pressure, it pushes the smoke into the building. If the victims would have been asleep, they may have just died in their sleep without experiencing any pain. However, these victims were awake, including the children, and if you can imagine breathing in hot air that would burn your lungs, and while at the same time breathing in soot, black soot that's also hot, so then you have this physical damage to your lungs, and you also have chemical damage or chemical asphyxiation caused by both carbon monoxide and hydrogen cyanide. Both of these are chemical asphyxiants that would prevent your body from circulating oxygen in the blood. In this case, because they were awake and because of the way that it happened, dying of smoke inhalation would have been fairly brutal. These detectors were connected to two different circuits, and there's no way for us to independently evaluate that because one, the evidence was removed from the building, and two, the building was torn down. Another thing with regards to this particular smoke detector is that it did not have a battery backup. So if the circuit was not working, there's no way for the detector to work.